Yes, from sweet cherries to sweet woods. Nice transition. I hope you can see my slides. Yep. So
yes, everything is fine.
Yeah, so I will do a short introduction about Sweet Woods project and also what we do in Fibano. I think the title stating that we are creating future for the future of wood industry actually summarizes it quite well. I am Katrin. I work as a sustainability manager here in Fibano. So let's take a look of the project. So the main aim of the Sweet Woods project is to revolutionize the wood industry and fundamentally rethink how we use wood. But the bigger goal behind it is to reduce the global dependency on different fossil resources. The indicative numbers here are just showing the outline of the project and maybe giving some overview of what was thought when the project was launched in 2018. But of course, the general idea is to create new bio-based value chains and to create new bio-based materials and bio-based materials that are more sustainable compared to the ones that are produced in conventional ways, and also to do it in a way that it's more environmentally friendly, to have less waste and to have minimal environmental impacts. And maybe what could be interesting also here that to do that, when it comes to the Sweet Woods project, we have 9 partners all around Europe from different countries. And the budget of the whole project is around 40 million euros, and almost half of it has come from the BBI joint undertaking. To maybe explain it a little in more detail, what we mean by revolutionizing wood industry, I hope this slide gives a little bit better understanding what we actually do here. So if we take an example of one tree, a big part of it goes into sawmills and plywood industry to get construction materials and furniture, for example. There's another part that goes into the pulp and paper industry, and we have a lot of residual parts like the tree branches that are conventionally used only for energy production. So we have a lot of wood processing and forestry residues, also known as secondary woody biomass, that is conventionally used only for energy production. And if we think about the cascading principles of woody biomass use, burning for energy should be one of the last options. Luckily, we in Fibano have a solution for that. So we can create new bio-based products from the residual wood. And of course, I think it's also important to highlight here that the wood residues that we use originate only from sustainably managed forests. And of course, when it comes to sustainability, not only our raw materials are sustainable, but our production plant is also sustainable. So we run only on renewable energy. And when it comes to water use, we have a very efficient wastewater treatment system that allows us to reuse up to 95% of the water. And if we look our products here, it's just deconstructed wood. We have lignin, cellulosic sugars, and microcrystalline cellulose. When it comes to the innovative practices and technologies, I think one of the most innovative parts of our processing is the pre-treatment technology. We use Sweetwater's sunburst pre-treatment technology that fractionates woody biomass into biocomponents faster and more efficiently than any other technology available on the market. It may be a little bit difficult to understand. That's why we included here a little visual material showing that the wood residues go in from here. We have big extruder that combines temperature, pressure, and mechanical force. And the output is kind of chocolate mousse-like paste that could be further processed to get all the components of wood. And the results are chemically unmodified and really high purity products. Again, to maybe visualize it a little better, we can create new bio-based products from residual wood materials. The list of our products also included here. We have cellulosic sugars in 2 different options, C5 sugars, C6 sugars. We have lignin in 2 grades. We have Lignova crude and Lignova pure. And also when it comes to microcrystalline cellulose, we have different grades depending on needed application. And as could be assumed, these products could be used in very different applications. To illustrate that, these are only a few possible examples: construction materials, furniture, biomaterials, bioplastics, packaging materials, road construction. For example, both MCC and lignin could be used in developing packaging materials. Lignin could be used as functional additive in development of biocomposites, bioplastics, and maybe a good example that everybody knows when it comes to road construction. Lignin could replace bitumen that is used in asphalt. So with using our lignin, it would be actually possible to produce CO2 neutral roads. As we all know, roads are, or the construction industry in general is a big, it has a big contribution to the environmental impacts. And it was really interesting that you had the question here about looking back and thinking about what we would do differently. Here you can see we have a sketch from 2016 that our Chief Development Officer made. And right now we are in the phase where our production unit in Imavere looks like that. So this picture is taken this year. And I think maybe for us at the moment, it's too early to say what we would do differently, maybe after 10 years. But right now we are looking more into the future and thinking of the future perspectives. So our first step for the future would be to, as I mentioned, that we have our demo plant in Imavere. Our first step would be to build an industrial plant that would be 6 to 10 times bigger than our demo plant. Hopefully we would have the fermentation possibilities on site and also the lignin functionalization also. And this would be only the beginning. So first industrial plant maybe in Baltics or in Estonia, and from that maybe other locations in all around Europe, and maybe not only Europe but in the world. So we would have bigger impact on the future. So thank you. That's it from my side. Hopefully you have some questions or ideas how to proceed. Feedback would be very welcome, and thank you for listening.